was a private grief, something she'd been unable to share. To the world, miscarriage is an unfortunate thing, a disappointment, something medical. But to the mother, a death to mourn alone.
How did Boyd know? It was this summer, and I've been so careful not to say anything.
She pressed her eyelids closed, unsuccessful at keeping the tears at bay.
I'm sorry.
Lucy Maud stood to offer a tissue, saying, No, don't be sorry. And now the jump rope was silent. Miss Davis took the tissue and gasped. Lucy Maud turned to see what Miss Davis saw. Boyd in the window, eyes big in her freckled face, called to Miss Davis's pain. Who could blame the woman for the fear that hardened her features? It was a monstrous thing. There had been other times. Hurt children trailed Boyd for years. Any time Lucy Maud let her out, they'd follow Boyd like some Pied Piper, giving her candy, toys, pencils, erasers, marching almost martially behind her. At the Texas State Fair in Dallas one year, Boyd, maybe 10, had convinced Lucy Maud to buy $100 worth of skincare products, even though they didn't really have the money, and then had at home tossed the stuff in the garbage.
It doesn't work, Boyd said. But the man needed money or else he'd lose his house.
When Lucy Maud had pressed, Boyd had said 2 children, a boy and a girl. Boyd had said maybe. She'd said she thought. Lucy Maud had been unnerved, sure, but had dismissed it. What child didn't have a wild imagination? The time on the road trip to Colorado when Boyd had said, "Turn here," the elderly couple broken down on the side of the road. The time at the grocery store, Boyd lingering on the greeting card aisle, selecting a sympathy card for Aunt Jackie, 2 days before Kevin's brother Dylan had died in the car accident. The time Boyd, much older, 16, came to Lucy Maud and told her about her husband's girlfriend, back when Lucy Maud still thought she'd be married to Kevin forever. All of these things, so easy to ignore. Simple explanations, really. Boyd was perceptive, maybe. Maybe she paid attention. Paid so much attention that other people's trauma hurt her. A sort of sympathetic lightning rod. But now that wasn't quite right. Boyd was like the forked stick of a dowser, positioned over dry earth, tuned not to water, but to pain. April 15th, 2015. In the 4th year of the drought, Boyd erected a scarecrow. She was technically a senior in high school, but she'd been homeschooled since 7th grade when she had made that scene in the middle school cafeteria. Her mother had pulled her out of school, and her father thought it was fine. It was a better educational model anyway, he thought, and he told Boyd to read Thoreau by the edge of their lake. Boyd hadn't started with a scarecrow, though. That year, when they were deep in the throes of the drought, their next-door neighbor, Carla, half a mile up the road, made organic soap for a living and had oils delivered in drums. An empty drum washed ashore one afternoon in March, floating because the lid was still attached, and by the beginning of April, Boyd had scrubbed it, coated it with waterproof paint, and set it at the corner of the house where the garage gutters drained. But it did not rain. So Boyd had time to study the barrel. She did not like the green she had painted it, as the house was on a downslope and the green cut into the sky, so she repainted the drum, blue this time, the matte blue of the blue bonnet, of the vein in the crook of her wrist. One morning a scrim of water was on the lid, and she knew the mosquitoes laid eggs in nothings, in slips, in waters the depth of eggshells. She turned the barrel on its side, cut a hole, and lined it with wire screen to trap any mosquitoes that grew inside, and she built a stand so that it would not roll down the hill. Dew no longer collected on the top. That was the year a mosquito could shrink a baby's head. The year we poisoned our children in Flint. The year we sprayed millions of gallons of water into the ground to loose the gas instead. That was the year we arrested looters. That year when the lake fell and towns emerged. There was a fire just east of the Capitol, and the smoke dusted everything. The wind took the fire and unfurled it. Emotion like the casting of dice.